Once upon a time, in a small, cozy toy shop, there stood hundreds of beautiful dolls. Each doll had shiny eyes, soft hair, and colorful dresses. Every evening, the shopkeeper would dust them carefully and arrange them neatly on the shelves. Among all the dolls, there was one named Lila. Lila was not as fancy as the others. Her dress was plain, her hair was slightly messy, and one of her eyes didn't sparkle much. But Lila had something very special, a warm heart and a kind soul. Every night, when the lights went off and the shop became silent, the toys came to life. The dolls would talk, laugh, and tell stories about the children who had bought them. But poor Lila sat quietly in the corner, listening. No one had ever chosen her. One shiny pink doll named Bella often teased her. "Oh, Lila, no one will ever buy you." Bella giggled. "You're too simple and boring." Lila just smiled and said softly, "Maybe one day, someone will need a doll like me." Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Many dolls were sold, but Lila still sat there. Her colors began to fade, and her dress became dusty. One cold winter evening, a little girl named Emma entered the shop with her father. Emma's eyes sparkled as she looked at all the beautiful dolls. The shopkeeper smiled and said, "Which one do you like, dear?" Emma walked slowly around the shelves. She saw Bella, shining under the light, wearing a glittery pink gown. She saw others with golden hair and sparkling crowns. But then, her eyes stopped at Lila, the old, quiet doll in the corner. Emma picked her up gently. "Oh, Daddy," she said, "this one looks like she needs a friend." Her father smiled. "Are you sure, sweetheart?" "There are many newer ones," Emma nodded. "Yes, she's special. I can feel it." And so, Lila finally went home with Emma. That night, for the first time in her life, Lila was hugged tightly and tucked into a warm bed. Emma whispered, "Don't worry, Lila. You'll never be alone again." From that day on, Emma and Lila were inseparable. They went to the park together, had tea parties, and told each other bedtime stories. Lila felt loved, and her eyes began to sparkle again. Back in the toy shop, Bella and the other dolls were shocked. "How could that old doll be chosen?" Bella said angrily. The wise old teddy bear on the top shelf smiled and said, "Because true beauty isn't in how you look, it is in how you make someone feel." Years passed. Emma grew older, but she never forgot Lila. Even when she had new toys and gadgets, Lila always sat beside her pillow. She was no longer just a doll, she was a true friend. One day, Emma donated her old toys to a children's shelter. She looked at Lila and said, "You've given me so much love. Now it's time to share it with someone else." Lila went to a new little girl, one who had never owned a doll before. And once again, she brought smiles and comfort wherever she went. Moral: true beauty lies in kindness and love, not in appearance. Even the simplest heart can bring the greatest happiness.